Hello guys, welcome to today's LORCANA video. It's actually my first LORCANA video for this channel. So today guys, I'm bringing you guys 20 movie theme decks that you and your family can have fun with. Especially now with the Ursula's Quest. It will be a lot more fun to implement these decks instead of trying to go to tournaments and trying to beat, of course, more competitive players with more meta decks. Now here you can make all of these fun movie decks and just have fun with your family. Um, Play the Ursula's Quest with your friends, just just for fun. So we're gonna go over these decks. I've made a total of 20 theme decks. Of course, there were some decks that weren't able to make the cut, like the Lion King. It was something that I personally wanted to play, but there was just not enough cards. Not even with Chapter 4. But thankfully, we were able to make as many decks as we could, and yeah, so we're gonna review them all today, and we're gonna start with the first one. We're gonna go ahead and just jump right into it. Um, the Dalmatian theme deck, right? So for this one, I did want to make it. I tried making it red with because of Pongo Evasive because that's a really good card. But I decided to just go with green, yellow, for the Cruella de Vil and all those stuffs. We are playing. Okay, so we're playing 4 Double Manners, 4 Cruella de Vils. When this character is challenged and banished, you may return a chosen character to the player's hand. So the main thing is I want to make sure that we have playable cards, right? Maybe, for me, effects, win games pretty much. We do play 20 copies of. I mean, it's the puppies, right? So I did play 4 of each, which totaled an equal amount of 20. I wasn't able to find the other A, B, C, and D, the other Dalmatian puppy variants, so that's why it says 20 there. We do play 4 Sudden Chills for us. Yeah, I'm probably yeah. So me naming cards is not gonna be very good today. So don't make fun of me in the comments. Okay, it's Jasper. For Jasper, for Pongo, for Raleigh, Lucky Patch, 99 puppies. We're playing just 2 of them. It's just whenever one of your characters quests this turn, gain 1 lore. It was a good card, but it was uninkable, and we already had Perdita uninkable, so I didn't want to add too many uninkable cards. And of course, I think Perdita is the MVP of this deck, right? So yeah, so that's gonna be a 101 Dalmatian theme deck. I do want to mention at the end of the video, we are gonna generate a bracket, and we're gonna make a little tournament, me and my fiance, and I hope you guys can, you know, join us in this series of videos that I will be posting for this tournaments to come. So the next deck that I have, let's see, Aladdin. Ooh, Aladdin is really good deck. I think Aladdin is one of the decks that I really want to play as well. I tried making it an Aladdin deck and then a Jafar deck, but Jafar did not have enough cards by himself, to make his own deck. So I decided to just combine them. There is an instance where I was able to divide the movie into the villain and the heroes, and we will be looking at those decks later on. But right now we are playing the little Aladdin theme deck. We have, of course, 4 Aladdins, the 1-drop Aladdins, the 2-drop Aladdins. We're playing Jafar. This is a really good card during your turn. This character gains evasive. This card is even being played in the meta. I saw it several times. Just to get rid of Diablo, to get rid of the mini evasive. So, we're pretty lucky that Jafar has this card, so we can put it in the deck. We are playing 4 Magic Carpets. It's an evasive card. It's a really good card as well. Sadly, we are not playing any locations, so the effect does not really come to play. But again, there were some cards there were some decks that we just didn't have enough cards, right, to continue building and to be able to play around with it. We're playing 4 Rasul. This is also a really good card. It's a 2 cost. We're trying to focus a lot, making it to where you always have something to play. The early game, the middle game, the late game as well. While this character has no damage, he gets +2 attack. We're playing the Lamp. We have a lot of Jafars, and the effect says if you advantage this item, you have a character named Jafar in play, draw 2 cards, right? And if you have a character named Genie, which we do have one, return chosen character with cost 4 or less to the player's hand. So, yes, these are theme decks, but these theme decks are actually working pretty good together, which is something that I really do like. We have the new card, Aladdin. Thankfully, we were able to get a good Aladdin in here. I did see the red Aladdin, and that was also something that I did want to play, but again, there was just not enough, right? So I had to I had to go for steel. Besides Jafar, in a whole new world, those are really good cards, so I had to go for steel. I do play for Iago's, an evasive card. It's an early game card, just costs 3, so it's also pretty good. We're playing as many Jafars as we can, just to be able to shift into this Jafar by turn 5, so we can sing it, right? So this is going to be kind of like our win condition for the Jafar deck. I'm sorry, Aladdin deck. See, I really wanted a Jafar deck, but I wasn't able to do it by themselves. So when you play this character, look at the top 2 cards in your deck, put one on top. So you're just kind of getting ready for your 4th turn, which is pretty good. Whenever this character's quest, you may shuffle this card into the deck and draw 3 cards. This is also really good. Same thing if you have Jafar on the field together with the genie. You can just quest with him, or you can sing a whole new world with Jafar, because he gains. Well, this character is exerted. Whenever you draw a card, you gain a lore, right? So he gains, what is it, 7 for a whole new world, and then you can quest with genie, draw 3 more, gain 3 more lore, which is a really good combo that you'll be able to make with this deck. We are playing more Jafars. The Jafar shift. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in the challenge, we draw a card. This is also really good. I'm only playing 2 of these. I feel like this was kind of like the weakest Jafar in the deck. For me, all of the other Jafars are pretty good. Even this one, because you get to set up your deck for the next card. And we are playing the new Raya. So while you have no cards in your hand, character with cost 4 or less can't challenge your character. So this card, again, we just had to throw it in there just to fill up the deck. It's part of the movie, it's part of the theme, so that's why it's there. Its effect, I don't think I'm ever going to be using that effect unless I do actually run out of cards. But maybe, you don't have that much draw power, so you might get to a point where you're not drawing enough and you're just top decking to beat your opponent. Of course, we're playing for a whole new world, and we are playing the Big Jafar. This deck is also really fun. I mean, I'm really excited to try it out, hopefully. And of course, in the comments, just, leave a comment and just say which deck you think is going to win our little tournament, which is going to be coming up throughout the week. Yeah, let's move on to the next deck that I have here. Okay, so Beauty and the Beast, right? There was enough cards for a purple steel deck, but there was also enough cards for a red blue, right? And I wanted to get as much decks in there in the tournament, just so we can have a little bit more fun with these decks. So yeah, let's go check out this one first. So Purple Steel, Beauty and the Beast. We are playing 4 Chip the Teacup, 4 Beast's Mirror, 4 Breaks, which actually this card is amazing for Ursula's quest, right? Because she's playing all these items that are really, really strong, and early removal of an item is gonna help you a lot with Ursula. Magical Maid, Mystical Rose, we're playing 4 of them, the Rose Lantern. So a lot of things. Also, Ursula, what it does, it also, I mean, hopefully I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but she does a lot of damage, like 2 damages here, 2 damages to another character. So I feel like this deck could do pretty good controlling the damage counters on your characters and just throwing them back at her as well. We're playing, of course, the Beast. Belle is the wardrobe. I dropped it at 2 because I needed more space. I wanted to add the mob song, but not too many, so I ended up just cutting it just 2 and 2. Right. The Beast. I mean, the Tragic Hero Beast is an amazing card, so it has to go there. That's why I went for Steel first. This is the first one that I made after, and then I made the red blue. This is the first one that because of this Beast, I wanted to play this Beast in the deck, so it was a pretty good build at the end. 4 bells, 4 grab your swords, 4 beast, and 2 of the mob song. Of course, these decks can be, edited and worked on. If you want to add more mob songs and take out the wardrobe, I just wanted more characters for the movies to be present, in the decks. But yeah, let's go to the next one. Now red blue. Okay, so red blue. I was a little iffy about red blue It is playing a lot of item effects, but the bad thing is that you only have the one item. We're not playing eight, definitely. We are just playing four. So please ignore that. But yeah, Belle's house, the glean, nothing to hide. So you're kind of like playing with that same item, banishing it, and getting it back, gaining the lore. But I mean, your strong cards here would be, your Cogsworth, your Belle. It could be you can combine the transformed chef whenever you play this character, remove the 2 damage from a chosen character, just to heal up your beast a little bit. So yeah, I mean this deck, it's not. I don't want to say it's the best. I'm not sure how far it will go in the tournament, but I'm really excited to see it play. We never know. All right, it might surprise us all. So let's go to the next deck. Yeah, I'm gonna speed up a little bit on these. So we've only gone through 4 and we got 16 more to go. Okay, DuckTales. I feel like this is a really fun deck. I have not played this deck. I have not tried the Huey, Dewey, Louie combos, but it's something that I really want to try. I feel like it's really fun, right? So you're playing the Huey. I mean, pretty much. I think this is one of the decks that was exactly 60 cards. I tried looking for any other cards that I could fit in that would fit into the movie, and I don't think there was any. But the combo between Magica, Dispel, and Lucky Dime is something that I'm really excited to try. Just to be able to gain seven lore out of this card because of Lucky Dime. I mean, I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it, right? And I've never tried again the Huey, Louie, and Dewey combos with Scrooge. So I'm really excited to play this deck. It's gonna be hopefully one of the ones that I get to play. I know we're gonna try to randomize it as much as we can. Um, but yeah, let's go for it. So for Huey, for Lena's, which is a rush character, early game rush. It's a 1, but I mean, it's a rush. It hits, right? It does damage, which is good. The little Magica, to be able to shift. We're playing the Scrooge McDuck, Scrooge Top Hat, the Dewey, Gyro, Flintheart, Louie, another Magica as well. Return a chosen item with a cost equal to or less than this character's attack. So 3 below, you return it, right? So I think that's also a really good item removal to control your opponent. We're also playing your locations and characters. Your location and characters at a location gain resist to. There you go. So that I was just thinking, why? What would this do? What would this be benefit us with, right? But now I know. Now we have an item that helps us here, gives us resist if we're there. So you pay 1 less for the next item to play Vault Door or to play Lucky Dime. So I feel like this deck could do pretty good. We'll see. But yeah, let's go for the next one. DuckTales. Okay, Encanto. Encanto will be the next one. So this is one of them my fiance made. I think Encanto is her favorite movie, right? So this is what she made. This is just her little project. She is playing 4 Agustin Madrigal, 4 Casa Madrigal, 2 Swing to Action, 3 Bruno Return, 4 Maribel Madrigal, 2 Miracle Candles, for Pico, for Almas. I feel like the Alma and the Bruno combo is going to work really well as well. Antonio Madrigal, Felix, Julieta, Bruno Madrigal, Camilo, Dolores, Luisa, Isabella Mirabel. Okay, so here Bruno is your evasive character, right? Whenever you can shift it, no, not shift it, you can tap it, to name a card and then reveal the top card. If it's the named card, put that card into your hand and gain 3 lore. So this is a really good combo with Alma that lets you search for a card and put it on top, which is really good, right? I did notice that we are not playing. This is something that we might change for sure, because the 7 cost the song is something that we want to implement in this deck. I'm not sure why it's not here, but it pretty much would replace probably the Pico, although Pico is a really good early game card. Or it might replace the swing into action. This really just depends on you guys, whatever you guys want to build. This is just a little bit of an idea. Definitely a Miracle Candle. If you have 3 more characters in play, gain 2 lore and remove up to 2 damage. So it's a healing and you gain lore. So I think it's a really good card as well. But yes, we are definitely going to be adding the song to this deck to make it just a little more faster. So it lets you dig in, I think, like five cards, right? So it's an amazing card. Let's go for the Fantasia deck. Oh, the Brooms. This is a really good deck as well. I played it a little bit against Ursula's, and it was working really well. It was really good at gaining lore really fast. Um, but yeah, I have not tried it with the Sorcerer's Hat, but this was something that I had to add, of course, because it was part of the. It's part of the deck. I mean, it's the hat. It's the Sorcerer's Hat. We have to play the Sorcerer's Hat if we're playing Brooms, right? But yeah, we're playing everything here. Everything here is just part of the Fantasia deck. Definitely the Sorcerer's Spellbook. I think this is the last card I added because I had no idea this was part of it. And then I read the Sorcerer's Hat, the Sorcerer's Spellbook, the Sorcerer's Tower, and it made sense, right? So I just decided to fix my mistake and add it back. But yeah, we're playing all the Brooms, 4 of each, 4 Mickeys, and all the Brooms, and the Yen Sid, of course. So this is a pretty stable deck. Hopefully, in our new chapters, we get better Brooms or better cards to help our Brooms. So Brooms can finally top. It will be a really happy day for me whenever I see at least a top 8 on Brooms, right? Okay, now we're looking at the Frozen theme deck. This also works really well together. You have the one cost, the one drop Olaf's, the purple and the blue, which gives you a really good early game start. We are playing for Scepters. We're playing for Annas. I only decided to play 2 Elsas because you tap to exert a chosen opposing character. It's a good effect, but it wasn't good enough for me, right? I felt like Elsa Storm Chaser, giving Challenger +2 and Rush to a character is a lot better, right? So thank you, set 4. We are playing also Field of Ice, which is another item. Whenever you play a character, the game resist 1, +1 until the end of your turn. We are playing Hans. When you play this character, if a princess or queen character is in play, you gain 1 lore. And of course, you're playing a bunch of queens in this deck as well. We are playing the Olaf. To shift it, you'll only have to discard an item card. You do have the Scepter and the Field of Ice that you can discard. Whenever you quest, each of your characters gain. I usually say attack, right? So attack equal to his attack. So everybody gains 1 whenever he quests, which is it's a good effect, right? Whenever you play this character, if you have a character named Elsa in play, choose an opposing character, and he can't ready at the start of the next turn. So I only play 2, right? Of course, because I don't feel like cards that have effects where you need to have another card in the field is very situational for me. So I just dropped it to 2 as well. I don't want to take it out completely because I wanted more Annas in the deck. Right, just 3 and 3. I believe it's 3 and 3. 3 Annas, 3 Elsas. Yeah, I think so. So that's why I kept her in there. We're playing the new Anna as well, the True Hearted. Whenever this character quests, your other hero characters get +1 lore this turn. You're playing some heroes in the deck as well. Of course, with all exception of Hans and Iduna, I think that's her name. I'm not 100% sure. I believe it's Iduna. And of course, Marshmallow. So we're also playing Elsa. Challenger +3. She hits for 6 pretty much. She's a really good card. So we kept her at 4. Iduna, whenever this character is banished, you may put this card into your inkwell face down and exert it. So it's also pretty good for your ramp ups as well. Let It Go. Really good card removal. I know you put it in the ink, but when you're playing against Ursula, an extreme level. Again, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but this Let It Go, it's one of the few ways you can get rid of cards without them coming back. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything. But yeah, we're also playing Marshmallow. When this character is banished and challenged, you may return this into your hand. Really good card. Hit for 5. You can give him a +1 with Olaf. Hit for 6. It's a really good card. You can exert on your turn, so you can hit something. You can give it a rush and challenger 2 with the other Elsa Storm Chaser, which makes this card really good. Elsa, of course, we all know the Shift 6 Elsa. When you play this character, exert up to 2 chosen characters, and they can't already at the start of their turn. I feel like this deck is pretty good and stable, and it can work on its own and might be higher up in the ranks on that tournament. I feel like it's going to be at least in the semifinals. That's my prediction for this Frozen theme deck. Okay? Let me know, guys, what your predictions are. What deck so far do you guys think it's going to win? It's going to be a really fun event that I want to be doing. We're going to be using Pixelborn to play it as well. And yeah, so we'll see who the winner is of this little theme deck tournament. Yes. Okay, so Hercules. Hercules. What can I tell you about Hercules? Hercules. I really wanted to play Hades. I wanted to make a Hades theme deck by himself, but there was just not enough support for that. Hopefully later on in the next chapters we get enough support for this, right? Because I do want to play Hades Titans, right? Which would be really cool. All the Titans that come out. But yeah, so far this is what we get. So this is what we're gonna build. We are playing the Pegasus. We're playing Hercules. So I kind of made this kind of like the hero, the good version of the deck. That's why the green Hades is not in here. It could be in here because all you have to do is exert, and I believe you destroy. Let's say you kill your Hercules, and you can play another Hercules for free. So you can even play the 6-cost Hercules for free. It is a good card. If you want to add it, go for it. I did not add it again because I wanted to make this a hero deck, and I wanted to make the villain deck separately, which we were able to do for one deck again. You guys will see it soon. Okay, so let's go for it. We have Pegasus, the Hercules, the 2 costs. We have Thieves. We have Hera. We're playing 4 for Hercules, Bodyguard. We are playing 4 One Last Hopes. 4 weight sets for Zeus. Then along came Zeus. Then this is a new card I cannot pronounce. I'm gonna give it a try. Velocities. That's all. That's all I'm gonna do. But yes, we are playing this card. I think this card is really good. Whenever you play hero, you gain a lore. And as you can see, you're playing a lot of heroes in this deck. I mean, every Hercules is a hero, which is really good. We have the 2-cost heroes. And then we are playing the Muses, right? She has Ward. Whenever you play a song, you may return a chosen character with 2 attack or less to the player's hand. Now, she's a 4. She can sing, and then along came Zeus and do her effect all on her own, which is why I added her there. It's a good card. We are playing Megara. Why were we playing Megara? One, because she has Ward. Ward is a really good effect. And whenever you play a character named Hercules, you may ready this character. So you can swing, play Hercules, ready her again, swing or quest, whatever you want to do with this character. Another thing, let's see, I believe you can quest twice, right? So, yeah, because normally it would say this character can't quest, but this one does not. So you can quest for 2, play Hercules, ready her, quest again. Play Hercules again, ready her again, quest again. So you can do a little cool combo with her, which is pretty good. We are playing this Shift Pegasus, another miracle from Chapter 4. The Shift 3, evasive. When you play this character, if you use the Shift to play it, your characters gain evasive. So everybody has evasive until the start of your next turn. So everybody gets evasive on your turn, and then on your opponent's turn, which is really good. We are playing Hercules, Bodyguard, and a resist +1, and then there's Shift Hercules that has resist +2. There's also another good deck that I think is going to be up there. I don't know, we'll see. There's a lot of other decks that are pretty scary, so let's see if Hercules makes it. Let me know if you vote for Hercules to make it up there. Okay, now let's go for the next one. We do have the Little Mermaid theme deck. Okay, so this is the one I was talking to you about. So I made this one first. Actually, no. I made the Ursula deck first, right? So, and then I made this one. I did not want to make this one because I didn't feel like it did enough. But as I was building it, I found this card, the Dingle Hopper, and that I totally forgot it was part of this movie. So now this deck has a little bit of potential, right? Why? Because, okay, so you have locations, right? This location says while you have 3 or more items, it gains +2 lore, right? So you do have the Dingle Hopper, Fishbone Quill, and Ursula Shell's necklace that you can be playing. And as long as you have three, this location gets active and it works, right? So that's why we're playing Scuttle to get us those items. We are playing Sebastian. So the reason why we're playing Sebastian because of this location, right? This location says the character counts at having +2 to sing, right? So Sebastian in this location, he will be a singer 6, pretty much, right? So he himself can sing part of your world, and he can sing treasures untold, right? So now we do have, for example, all of your items. Whenever you're banishing items to gain 3 lore because of Trident, you're able to sing treasures untold to get all these items back, right? We have Prince Eric Bodyguard. Now, the reason why we're not playing the new shift Prince Eric nor the new Ursula's, to be honest, is because I made an Ursula deck and my fiance told me that she did not want to see Ursula in the good one. So, again, guys, if you guys want to add her in there, that's your choice. These are just little ideas. Because I made an Ursula deck, she did not want to see Ursula added into the good version of the deck, right? Uh, so we're playing as well the part of the world to return characters. We are only playing 2 of these aerials. Why? Because there's not many songs that you want to find. So I decided to just play 2. I didn't feel like we had to max this out. We are playing this aerial as well because she herself can sing Treasures Untold just in case, they banish your Atlantica. We are also playing, let me see, Sign the Scroll. Sign the Scroll, I think it's a really good card. Each opponent may choose and discard a card. For each opponent who doesn't, you gain 2 lore, right? So you either discard or I gain 2 lore. And then we are playing the very broken Ariel. Ariel, she has a ward. She quests for 3. And if you have more items in play than each opponent, you get +2 lore. So she pretty much quests for 5, right? You do have enough items to play. A lot of these decks do not have items, so she's going to be very dangerous in this tournament. So we're also playing the Tridents. We have, whenever one of your locations is banished, you may put that card into your inkwell face down, right? So when he's on the field, if they destroy our Atlanticas or our Ariel's Grotto, it goes into our ink instead of our discard. During your turn, this character gains evasive, so he can swing for evasive, so that makes this character really good. For me, effects win the game, right? And over here, shift 6 Trident. Whenever opposing character gets -1 strength for each location you have in play. So you are playing 1 cost in 2 cost locations, so it shouldn't be an issue for you to put 3 or 4 locations out there, right? So make your opponents very weak and not be able to do any damage to you. Or to the locations, because if you're playing maybe 2 and 2 of the Atlantica and 2 of the aerials on the field, I mean, they can't even hit your location, so it's going to be very hard for them. Right, so this deck does have potential, and I feel like it's going to do really good. But yeah, let's look at the Ursula. The Ursula one is the really fun one that I also want to play, and I feel like this deck is really strong. Check this out. So we are playing the Cursed Morgfall, right? We already have an early game, Cursed Morgfall and the Ursula's Trickery. Each opponent may choose and discard a card. For each opponent who doesn't, you may draw a card. Right, so either you discard or I draw. You're really strong. Return chosen character item location with cost of 2 or less to the player's hand. If you're playing against Ursula, the Luminer's Quest, this is a really, really good card as well. Okay, just keep that in mind. The Sign Contract, whenever an opponent plays a song, you may draw a card. It's really, really situational, right? But it's inkable. It's an item. You can just stay there. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you can discard the song. So Ursula, if you want to discard the song, you can do it. If it's a song that's not going to hurt you, or if you're only able to discard 1 and you find out that he has 2, then, I mean, you have the Signed Contract that that's going to help you. So that's why I left it in there. We're playing Ursula, the Mad Sea Witch. Challenger 2, hits for 3. Really good for the early game as well. And then once we pass to turn 3, now we're jumping into all of the Flotsam and Jetsam combos that you can make. I decided to add the best of the Jetsons and Flotsams, but I also wanted to make sure that I had everything, right? That's why I left this one at 2. Your characters named Jetson get 3 strength, right? So the reason why I left this at 2 is because this is the only card of the Flotsam and Jetsons that does not share his effect. For example, this card has Ward, and he also gives Ward. This card has Challenger, and he also gives Challenger. Jetsam, right? I forgot my cursor is not on, but you can see the little pictures, right? Okay, so yes, this one has Ward and gives Ward, and then this one has Challenger and it gives Challenger. This one only gives Challenger, right? It only gives a +3. It's not something that he has on himself. I mean, he's a 5/2, so maybe that is maybe that's just the effect applied already on him. So we'll take that into consideration. But yeah, we're playing 2 of him. It's a good effect, but it's not the strongest, right? We are playing this one, the Flotsam Ursula's Baby. When it's banished in the challenge, you can return to your hand, and it does the same thing for all the Jetsams. We are playing the Ward, the Challenger +2. We are playing the Boss is on a roll, which I think this is a really good card. You look at the top 5 cards in your deck and put them in any order of the top or bottom, and then you gain a lore, right? So you gain a lore, you fix your deck however you want to draw. I think that's really strong, right? We're playing Ursula. Whenever she sings a song, you may play that song again from your disc. So she can do this, right? So now you're not only digging into 5, you're digging all the way to 10. 10 cards. Gain 2 lore, right? If you need those last 2 lore to win, this little combo will get you the game. We can also sing Poor Unfortunate Soul twice. Return a chosen character, item, or location with a cost of 2 or less. It's a good card. It's just a little bit situational, but hey, it's there for you, and it's gonna work. We're playing the other Jetsam Evasive. We're playing Ursula's Garden. Whenever there's a character here, the opposing characters they'll lose a lore, I think, right? So they get a -1 lore, right? So they're questing for 1 less, pretty much. Now, this is also a really good card for Ursula's quest. A lot of the characters that she throws on the field, they quest for 1, So if you have a character there, they're not really questing for anything, and it gives you more advantage into the game. So we're also playing the Flotsam with Rush. It gives Rush to Jetsam. And of course, we have to play the Flotsam and Jetsam combo just by discarding 2 cards. You can shift it, or you can just play it on its own. We do have the big Ursula, right? Whenever this character quests, exert a chosen character, and other characters cannot exert to sing songs. I think this is a really good effect as well for some of these decks that are singing high-cost songs. I believe this deck is 62 cards. The reason why it's 62 is because I wanted to add Ursula's Lair, because of course it is Ursula's Lair. So for me, it had to be there. I don't feel like it's an alright effect, right? I just did not want to add more Inkables into the deck, but I had to because it was Ursula's Lair. So I feel like I know I'm saying like every deck is gonna top, but I feel like this deck is gonna do pretty good as well. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, right? Let's go for the next one. We do have the next one, the Moana. This is from my daughter's favorite deck. It's just a request from my daughter as well. We are playing the 4 Coconut Baskets, 4 Gramatalas, 4 Hey-Heys, 4 Motunuis, 3 Heart of Tafiti, 4 Kakamora, the 4 Maui's Fish of Gramatala. How far it'll go, the Moanas as well. The Maui Rush is a really good card. Must be played, of course. We are playing, I think there was one Moana that we did not play, which is the one that has the effect to kill a Taka when she spawns. I think it's just a I think it's the most situational card I've ever seen, because nobody plays Taka except us in this deck. We are playing 2 Taka. Why? Because she hits for 8, and that's ridiculous. Somebody that hits for 8 is going to be taking out locations, is going to be taking out almost anything that stands in her way except that red Moana that we know she's not going to face. So no worries there. We are playing 2 of the Chief Tuis. Why only 2? Because it's a good card. It's an inkable card. It does quest for 3. It's not as strong as I wish it would be. So I just left it at 2. There were some other options. I did want to add the Chief Tui. I think it was a request from my daughter. She wanted the Chief Tui in there, so we added it in there. But you can add whatever you want. We also have the Grammatalis and the Tamatoas. For the Tamatoas, we do have 3 different items, right? Yeah, so we have the Coconut Basket, the Maui's Fish Hook, and the Heart of Tafiti. So Tamatoa should be able to quest for at least, like 4 if you have one of each on the field, but you could have more. There's no limit of how many items you have, so you have enough to play. So, yes, this is the Moana deck. It's looking good. It's looking like it could do some work. Well, let's see how the Moana deck does in the tournament. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. We're going next to my favorite deck. It's the Mulan. I feel like the amount of characters that they gave Mulan was amazing. It's an amazing number of characters. We are playing 1 Imperial Proclamation. Why only 1? Because it says whenever one of your characters challenges another character, you pay 1 less for the next character. It's an item that, for me, it's not that dangerous. A lot of people tend to just ignore it because you are playing the last cannon, you are playing the medallion weights, so those are things that they want to get rid of, right? But yeah, I felt like 1 was enough. We are playing 4 of the Li Shangs because we do want to have an early game. That's why we're also playing 4 of the 1 drops training grounds. Now, what I did notice, something that was brought to my attention, was that the training grounds is not a 1-turn effect, right? So you can pay, let's say, if you have 5 ink, you can pay the 5 ink to give a character plus 5 strength, right? So it's going to be really good for Mulan, the Elite Archer Mulan, with her new effect, the triple shot, which is an amazing effect. We're playing 4 cons because it's a 3-2. For me, it's fighting for 3 is really good, and you can give more strength with training grounds. So for me, Con is a really good early game card as well. We do have the medallion weights, the Shifu, which is also really good. While this character has no damage, he gets +2, so he's questing for 3. So there you kind of like drawing the attention from players, right? We are playing the Li Shang shift card. Your characters with 4 strength or more gain 1 lore. We're playing the Ling. I think Ling is amazing as well. +1 to all of your characters. Strength of Rage and Fire. I do want to say when I first made this deck, I completely forgot because I was still focusing on my meta deck, so I was using Strength of Rage and Fire. I completely forgot this song existed for this for this specific deck. So I was really happy to see it and notice that this song goes with this deck because it's a really good song. Now deal 1 damage to each opposing character. We are playing Avalanche, and then you may banish a location. Really good card. Banish location, deal 1 damage to everybody. I think that's going to help out a lot in the tournament as well. We are playing 4 Mulans, the Rush character. The reason why I'm not playing any of the small cost Mulans is because the Elite Archer Mulan is a shift 5. For me, playing an early Mulan is not going to do anything. An early Mulan does just not really have a good effect. I'd rather have my turn forward Mulan and then turn 5 shift, right? So we have my Mulan, just make sure she doesn't die. Make sure I'm not fighting something that would kill her, so I can then shift the big Mulan and then be able to triple shot my enemies. We have Yao, Qianpo, and the Li Shang. The Li Shang, whatever this character requests, your characters gain evasive. So the Li Shang and Imperial Bow, there are 2 cards that are giving us evasive, so giving us a way to take out evasive characters, which is really good as well. But also Mulan, of course, Elite Archer, by using her effect, if you're hitting someone that does not have evasive, you can transfer that damage to 2 other characters, including evasive characters. So we do have evasive removal for this deck. So hopefully I'm cheering for this deck to get high up there. Hopefully it does. But yeah, let's go to the next few decks that we have here. The Peter Pan. This is okay. So I was so heartbroken for this deck. Why? Because I wanted to make a Peter Pan deck, and then I wanted to make a Captain Hook deck. I feel like Captain Hook himself Could have made his own deck, but it was not possible, sadly. But yeah, let's go for the deck build. We are playing the 4 Captain Hooks. Challenger +2, really good effect. Fire the Cannons as well, really good effect. The Jolly Roger characters gain evasive, and your pirates can move there for free. That gives almost half of your deck, well, not half. It gives some cards in your deck the ability to be able to rush, right? But you also playing a lot of rush cards. So you're playing a lot of Peter Pans that have rush. You're playing a Mr. Smee. At the end of the turn, if this character is exerted and you don't have a captain character in play, you deal 1 damage to this character. Thankfully, we will. We have Captain Hook, turn 1, turn 2, Mr. Smee, and so on from there. We're playing You Can Fly. We're only playing 2 of those. Chosen character gains evasive. It's really good for evasive removal. We have our planks. The plank, banish this item, choose 1, banish a hero character. It is a very situational, of course, definitely. But it also readies your villain characters, so your Captain Hooks, they can ready again and fight more. But if for some reason they end up playing a hero that you need to get rid of, there you go, you got the plank. We are playing 2 Peter Pan rushes, and this one has another effect. While you have a character named Tinkerbell, this character gains +2 strength. It's a good effect. We are playing the little Tinkerbell as well, so you can play her and then play Peter Pan to hit for 3. It's a good little combo. When you have a character named Peter Pan in play, you pay 1 less for this character. We're playing slightly. We're playing 4. We're also playing 4 Captain Hooks. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, ready this character. So you're just gonna keep fighting and fighting and fighting. The only negative effect is that your characters named Peter Pan lose evasive and cannot gain evasive. I mean, if you're fighting with Captain, okay, let's say you have Peter Pan on the field and you have Captain Hook, right? You're trying to give Peter Pan evasive with You Can Fly. If you're fighting, you want to fight with Captain Hook first. If he kills as much as he can and then he dies, then you can use You Can Fly, give him evasive, and swing, right? So it can happen. It does work. Then we do have the Shift Captain Hook. This is Shift 3, Challenger +3, and characters with cost 3 or less cannot challenge this character. So this is also a really good card. We did add Starkey. Starkey, while you have a captain character in play, this character gains +1 lore. It's a little bit of a late game card. I don't know, not a big fan, but we didn't have many choices. I think the other choice that we had was the Captain Hook that gives you Fire the Cannons back to your hand. It wasn't really a strong effect. It was an uninkable card. It was just too many uninkable cards for this deck. And yeah, so that's why we're putting Starkey in there. A Pirate's Life sync together. Each opponent loses 2 lore and you gain 2 lore. This is a really good card to just maintain that control on the lore. We're also playing the Peter Pan, the Shift 4 evasive, right? So he's an evasive card. Whenever he challenges a pirate character, this character take no. Okay, so you might not be fighting too many pirates, but he has evasive. That's the main thing. Don't forget, evasive kills evasives. So this is good. And then the Tinkerbell. The Tinkerbell is a really good card. I feel like you kill somebody 2 damage somewhere else. It's just really strong. But yeah, there's the Peter Pan deck. I don't know how good it will do. It does play a lot of uninkables, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with this deck. We're almost done here. We are playing Raya and the Last Dragon theme deck. This is also a really fun deck. You're playing Bone. I think his name is Bone. We're playing for him. He's just an early card game because you want to have presence in the early game. You don't want to be so late right into the game. We are playing Noi. Noi will get resist 1 and ward whenever an item is in play. We're only playing 1 item. We're playing Fang Crossbow. That was the only item available. But I mean, as long as they don't destroy our item, with Noi will be pretty good. We're playing Tuk Tuk as well, also for the early game. So I know there was another Tuk Tuk that moves characters to a location for free, but sadly this deck does not have any locations for red or blue. So we decided not to play that Tuk Tuk and just play this one. We're playing a really strong card, the Namari. During your turn, whenever this character deals damage to another character in the challenge, you may deal the same amount of damage to another chosen character. I mean, that's really good. 2 damage somewhere else, including evasive characters. I mean, it could help a lot to get rid of some cards. Now we have Raya. Whenever this character challenges another character, you gain 1 lore for each other damaged character you have in play. So also could be work. You could hit with something first and then hit with this Raya, gain 2 lore, maybe. It could help, right? So let's see. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. She can't quest for the rest of the turn. So we have the little Raya just to keep hitting as much as she can. She probably won't be able to take more than 2 hits, but she could hurt some other characters. We're also playing Sisu, evasive. When you play this character, banish a chosen opposing character with 1 strength or less. Without ice block, I feel like this card will be a little bit useless, but we'll see. Maybe not. We will have to wait until the tournament starts to see the potential of this little Sisu. But we are playing the other Sisu, the one. I mean, we're playing all the Sisus. But this one gets +1 strength for each card in your opponent's hand. So that would also be really good, especially if you're playing against Jafar. She'll be pretty strong if you can beat them before Jafar wins. We're playing 4 Benjas, 4 Maris, banish this character to banish a chosen character. So you pretty much just play her to kill her and kill something else. Banish, sorry. We're playing the other Sisu. Whenever this character quests, look at the top 2 cards. You may put 1 into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in their order. So it helps you with the little bit of draw power for this deck. We are playing the Dang Hu. Your other villain characters gain support. That's pretty good if you are playing, because we are playing Namari. Namari can give support to some other characters, which would help out a lot, especially if you're doing, for example, Namari, the one that does damage to another character, depending on how much damage she did. I mean, that could help a little bit. We do have Raya, the Shift 4. Whenever this character challenges a damaged character, she takes no damage from that challenge. Perfect. And then we have the strong Sisu, the best Sisu out there right now. When you play this character, banish all opposing characters with 2 or less. This looks like an okay deck, not gonna lie. So let's see how far it goes. I don't think this deck will go that far, but we'll see. We will have to see. Let's go for the next one. We're almost done. We got a few more decks. I will also be leaving a link at the end of this video in the comments, of course, so you guys can come to this page and just copy them from there, and yeah, just so you guys can look at them. But let's go for Robin Hood. So Robin Hood, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this deck does not have much potential. I make this deck because we needed at least 20, to have a good tournament. But this deck was very, very, very forced. But let's go for it. We do have the Robin Hoods, the Nottinghams that just don't really do much. Robin Hood deal 1 damage. The Vasos are his, the Skippy, the Little John bodyguard, which will shift into the big Little John. We have a Prince John effect. Whenever your opponent discards a card, you may draw a card for each one. The only discard card that we have is the Friar Tuck. When you play this character, the player or players with the most cards in their hand chooses and discard a card. So yeah, so this deck, I'm not 100% sure how good this deck will perform. I don't think it's going to do that well, but let's not give up hope yet. Let's give it a chance, right? Let's let it fight. So we are doing a single elimination tournament, right? So if this deck loses the first game, it's out. So no worries. But yeah, let's go for the next deck. This is pretty much all of it. It doesn't really have any sync with each other, so that's all for this deck. That's all I'm gonna say for this deck. I have not too much hope for it. But yeah, let's go to the next. Whoops. Okay, so Sleeping Beauty, the Sleeping Beauty theme deck. I think this is the second, because we were at 18 decks. We needed 2 more decks. I think this is the other one that we kind of like just pulled up together, and It's an all right deck. It works. It doesn't flow as the other decks do. Um, for example, Aurora protects items, but you don't have any items. You see how this deck is probably not going to perform its best, but we're still going to give it a chance. It's still going to be in the tournament, and we're still going to try it out. But yeah, let's go for the next one. I don't want to talk too much into DC decks. There's really no fun mechanics that you could play with. But yeah, let's go for the Snow White theme deck. I think this deck has a little bit of potential. I mean, with the magic mirrors, the queen's castle addition to it, even the big queen, the one cost, and then the shift, they can also help fight. It helps you fight a lot. We're playing all of the seven dwarfs, all of the Snow Whites, and I think this is also one of the decks that it was exactly at 60. It had one more card. It had Sleepy's Flute. But as you can see, we're not playing any songs. This is just characters, so Sleepy Flutes would not have had any effect on this. So yeah, so let's see how this deck performs. I mean, it's got all the cards it needs. It's got all the seven dwarfs, all the Snow Whites, all the queens. So hopefully this deck performs a little bit better. Hopefully it goes up to the middle of the tournament, wins one or two matches. But yeah. Now this deck, I think this deck is gonna be, if I'm not guessing, hopefully I'm guessing correctly, this deck is probably gonna be the winner, right? It's got pretty much, it looks really familiar to a red purple deck, with all the Madame Mim's engine. It looks really strong. So this deck, it had purple blue. There was one more blue card, which was a Merlin that didn't really help the deck. So I decided to just go for Develop Your Brain. That's it. That's the only one blue card in this deck. But this deck has a lot of potential. I think this is going to be one of the top decks that will be going on this tournament. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. And then I think we had two more. Oh, one more. And then lastly we do have the Tangled deck. This deck may have potential, okay, because we do have the new Flint Rider. At the start of your turn, if you have a character play with more strength than each opposing character, you gain a lore. We do have Mother Gothel in the early game. By turn 3, you can play that Mother Gothel Flint Rider combo. And then you can go turn 2 Flint, turn 3 Mother Gothel, probably gain those 3 lore, and then turn 4 into Rapunzel, draw cards. We do have very strong, at least very strong Rapunzel with a 5/4 that might help. It's a little bit late into the game, but it might help. We have the new Brawl card, banish a chosen character with 2 strength or less. And we got a lot of healing in this deck, so it might get a little annoying especially with Maximus bodyguard and support. Maximus will be a really good addition to this deck, helping out Rapunzel so Rapunzel can actually fight. Helping out maybe the Flint Rider for hitting for 6, or the Mother Gothel hitting for 7, because of course with the support and the bodyguard. And when they try to hit your Maximus to get rid of that annoying effect, you can just heal it with all your Rapunzels and all your action healing cards. So this deck can be very annoying and can have a big potential, especially with Lantern. You'll be able to play cards very fast and sooner. But yeah, this deck does have potential, and we'll see how it goes in the tournament. So pretty much it. That was all 20 decks that we just went through. Hopefully you guys stuck along to the end. And now we are gonna make, as promised, the bracket maker right here. It's not done yet. I gotta shuffle it, but we do have all the decks in here. For the tournament. Aladdin is somewhere down there. But yeah, so I'm just gonna click shuffle. It's gonna be 20 decks, and let's see how that goes. I'll probably do 3. I'll probably do 3 shuffles just to make sure. Let's do 1, 2, 3. All right. So some of these decks do get a bye, right? So we won't be able to see them until the next round. For example, Aladdin. Aladdin is gonna be the first one to get a bye. Aladdin is saved for the first round. In the first round, we're going to have Hercules versus Encanto. This is going to be a really fun match. This is probably going to be the first video we're going to post, Hercules versus Encanto. Guys, leave a vote. Let me know what you guys think or who you guys think is going to win. really excited to make these battles. And then we're gonna have Fantasia and Raya, the Last Dragon. Here, I believe Fantasia's gonna win. I'm voting for Fantasia. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We do have Moana and the Little Mermaid. This is a difficult one. I'm not sure which one's gonna win here. The Little Mermaid does have a lot of mechanics that could beat Moana, but we'll see. We do have the Sword in the Stone versus Snow White. 100% Sword in the Stone's going to win. Those Merlings are going to win. We have Sleeping Beauty that got a bye. You see? She made it. Not that good of a deck, but she got the bye. Tangled got the bye as well. We are fighting Frozen versus Mulan. This is going to be a really entertaining match as well. We are playing best 2 out of 3s, just like in a regular tournament. We also have here for the next round Peter Pan and Beauty and the Beast red blue. Not sure how this is gonna go. This is a very iffy battle. Same thing here. Beauty and the Beast purple steel versus Robin Hood. I feel like I want to say Beauty and the Beast is gonna win. Again, Robin Hood I don't feel like it's got a lot of mechanics into it. And then finally we do have the 101 Dalmatians versus the DuckTales. I don't know. I have not played with DuckTales, so we don't know the potential it may have. And sadly, the Little Mermaid Ursula got a bye. We got a bye. I wanted her to fight in the first round. Okay, so yeah, you guys can't see it down there, but the Little Mermaid Ursula. Let me see if I can zoom out. No. Okay, well, the last one is the Little Mermaid, the Ursula deck. They got a bye. But yeah, we'll see how this tournament works out. I'll be posting videos and let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you guys think is going to win. What's your vote? I want to see what you guys think, and I hope you guys enjoy the next following series of this tournament. Thank you, and I'll see y'all in the tourneys.